Hello, hello, and welcome. So, just like the title says, Tangem is having their biggest deal, definitely of the year, but one of the biggest deals that I've ever seen. And make sure you're dropping any questions, comments in the chat. I also have some new updates regarding Tangem that I'll get to here in a bit. But just to cover the deals very quickly, if you want to check them out for yourself, the link to this deal is in the description of this live stream. That said, Tangem is currently having a buy one, get one 60% off. And I'm going to bring that up just to show you exactly how to take advantage of that deal. And it's you're buying one 3-pack and you're getting the second 3-pack 60% off, which after everything's said and done, it's $40 off plus you get free shipping, which is pretty awesome. So let's see here. So yeah, if you just go to Tangem's website, again, the link is in the description. If you just go to that link, it's going to apply all the deals automatically. But if you don't want to click the link, you can go to Tangem's website, select Get Tangem, and then of course make sure the Cyber code is entered. That gets you 10% off on top of the 50% off that's already on the website. So if you go here, this is what you're getting. You're getting one entire set for the normal price and then a second set. And this lets you mix and match all the different cards. So you could get the stealth version is my favorite Tangem card. And then any of the limited edition cards is what you're getting for 60% off. I know it says 50% off right here, but again, you have this additional 10% off code applied, giving it 60% off. If we were to remove this code, you can see that the price actually goes up. So you definitely want that code applied to get the full 60% off. And additionally, the Tangem ring is 25% off plus free shipping. The Tangem ring comes with a card, 2 cards in the ring. And again, that one, the link in the description will apply that discount automatically. Or you could just put in the 15% off or the 15 off code along with the Cyber code, and you'll get that 25% off. The one thing I want to say about buying the family pack is you're getting 6 cards. And what a lot of people don't know is you can actually set up 3 separate wallets using 6 cards, 2 cards per wallet. Doesn't matter what cards you use, you can mix and match all the cards. But as long as you set up 2 cards per wallet, that allows you to create 3 separate wallets in your Tangem app. So if you're looking to diversify your portfolio, but manage them all simply in one app, then this is one of the best ways to do it. So yeah, link to this is in the description. But another cool thing, and I'm going to come out with a video later today about this, is if you update your Tangem app to the latest version, I think it was released 2 weeks ago, you can now set up your Tangem wallet completely offline. So whether you want to use the seed phrase option or still even the seedless option, the new method that I'll show in the video allows you to set up your Tangem wallet completely offline, which you could technically already do, but it just makes it a little more seamless. Even if you set up your wallet online, though, it's not a big deal. Like I've set up all my Tangem wallets while connected to the internet. I think Tangem really just added this feature because a lot of people were requesting it, and I think it makes people feel safer. Whether it actually adds security, I don't believe so. But yeah, I'm going to come out with a video on how to set up your Tangem wallet offline later today. And that's about it. So let's see here. I'm going to go to the chat here. Steve says added your name without add also. Not sure what that means. Not sure what that means, but shout out to Blake Hernandez. What's going on, Ricardo? Probably getting the 2 cards in ring. Do they display gain and loss in the app now? So no cold wallet is going to show you your profit and loss. In order for a wallet to do that, you'd have to connect all your crypto exchanges, basically where you initially bought your crypto, so that it could could see what your initial purchase price was. It's the exact same thing that crypto tax tools do. You'd have to connect all your accounts, every account that you've ever used. You'd really have to connect them, and that's the only way to see your profit and loss. No cold wallet offers that feature. It would just require a lot from the user, a lot of data to enter. So you can't see your profit and loss. You can see your total portfolio balance. You can watch your crypto go up and down, in value, but you can't see your profit and loss. Shout out to Victor. Good morning. Can't Stop Swamp says want 80% off. That would be nice. But I mean, businesses have to make money too. So I think if they did 80% off, they probably wouldn't make any money. What's up, Musmac? Kendall says, I bought 2 sets of Tangem wallets a couple months ago. One works fine. The other one won't download all 3 on my Android phone. What's up with that? Will it work just fine with us too? I don't know what you mean by the other one won't download all 3 on my Android phone. I have Android and iPhone, and I've noticed Android phones are just not the best. I don't know what it is. It might be their NFC antenna. It could be a card issue, I guess, but it might just be an issue with your phone. I would definitely make sure that your phone's firmware is up to date and make sure that Tangem app is up to date. That's where I usually start. Off the Grid Hero says, what happens if the government does a no more XRP? Can they take our cold wallets? I'm not sure what you mean by no more XRP, but I mean, can the government take your cold wallets? The government could technically take anything from you if they force their way into your home and demanded that you give it to them. Whether you give it to them or not, that would be your choice. But there's no way that they can access your keys or anything like that without, prying them out of your hands. So. Wow says, I've ordered almost 2 sets after watching your video and will order 2 more tomorrow. Nice. Oh yeah, that's one thing I forgot to mention is this deal goes on till November 7th. So you still have a week to take advantage of it. John Doe says, do you have any advice regarding how to manage UTXOs if $1 cost average? How should the risk of keeping crypto on an exchange be balanced with reasonable cold wallet? I don't have any tips regarding managing UTXOs, especially using the Tangem wallet. It is a little more complicated, so it's not something I can help you with during this live stream. I'm sorry. Wow says, I have a doubt. How will Tangem take care of dust tokens? No wallet manufacturer can do anything about dust tokens. Anyone can send you crypto to your crypto address. It doesn't matter what wallet you're using. That's just how the blockchain works. It's kind of like sending an email. If you have someone's email address, even if you don't have access to their email account, you can always send them an email. Most wallets will allow you to hide certain tokens if you get airdrop tokens or things like that. But as far as dust tokens, they're not really even a threat necessarily. Having a dust token in your wallet isn't going to compromise your wallet. So yeah. Author Great Hero says, do you think cold wallets can be put into law that's not allowed by the government? Anything is possible. That's not going to happen, though. If you are hearing that that's going to happen, it's likely not true. And I've seen a lot of people also talking about you need to stop using cold wallets and use a Web3 wallet. Just want to let you know that is a 100% a scam as well. There's no such thing as a Web3 wallet. You don't really need to worry about dust tokens. How do you file taxes? Well, you could have someone do them for you, or you can do them yourself. Either way, you need to use a crypto tax tool. If you type in on YouTube how to file crypto taxes, my video will pop up. And in that video, I show you exactly how I file my crypto taxes using the tool and TurboTax. You can file yourself, or you can hire someone from their website to do it. But I use coinledger.io. But I would go watch that video because I literally walk you through the entire process. It basically just asks you to connect your crypto exchanges, enter your receiving wallet addresses. Once you enter all the information, there might be some discrepancies that you need to go through. And then after all that, it will generate the documents that you will file with your normal taxes. Mustmax says, I just transferred some of my crypto from Kraken to Tangem. Your video on how to do that helped a lot. Awesome. I'm glad to hear that. Also, along with that link that gets you this deal that's in the description, I did leave my Tangem wallet user guide down there as well. So if you've never used a Tangem wallet, or if this is going to be your first Tangem wallet, that guide will show you exactly how to set it up, step by step in real time, how to transfer crypto from an exchange to your Tangem wallet, as well as how to send crypto from your Tangem wallet back to the exchange if that's something that you want to do. Blake says, I was just wondering if it shows how much crypto you have. Yeah, Tangem shows how much crypto you have. It shows your total portfolio balance. It also shows you how much of each crypto that you have. So, if you had $1,000 worth of Bitcoin and $500 worth of ETH and $300 worth of Solana, it will show you all that in the app. And it'll also show you, when the price goes up and when it goes down. Cobra says, can you explain the difference between a hardware wallet and a true cold wallet? So the terms can be used interchangeably. However, you can make a hardware wallet a hot wallet, but a hardware wallet and a cold wallet, all that means is that the keys used to access and manage your crypto, when we're talking about keys, we're talking about the seed phrase and the private keys, that they're stored offline in a secure environment. Like technically a piece of paper is a cold wallet because the keys are stored offline. Whereas a hardware wallet is a physical device. A hardware wallet, cold wallet, again, it's really the same thing though. The keys are stored offline. In a hardware wallet, I say it's more secure than a piece of paper because the keys are stored not only offline, they're secured, or they're stored in a secure environment on something like a secure chip that's virtually hack proof. And also, unlike paper wallets, cold wallets don't only allow you to store your seed phrase offline. It allows you to generate, manage, and store your keys completely offline, versus a piece of paper is really only good for storing it offline. RTD says, when you buy crypto on Tangem, are the fees lower than Coinbase? That's who I have. Probably not. Coinbase has some of the highest fees, but so does the third parties that you use when you buy through Tangem. When I buy and sell crypto, I buy it on my preferred exchange and I send it back to the exchange to sell it usually, but I use Kraken, which has better fees than Coinbase. Mustmax says, I do have a concern. If I can buy and sell crypto through Tangem, then what's the point of an exchange like Kraken? Tangem uses exchanges as well. You're not buying crypto through Tangem. You're buying it through the companies that they've partnered with, which are also exchanges like Changely and some other ones, MoonPay. The difference, though, is those third parties through Tangem are going to have much lower limits. So depending on how much crypto you're buying and selling, you can't buy and sell as much through the Tangem app as you could on an external crypto exchange like Kraken. It's also best to just have multiple crypto exchange accounts in case something happens to one of your accounts, or in case the exchange, the website goes down or something. It's always good to have backups. Tim says, I ordered the 10% off deal right before he sent out the 60% off. Yeah, that's just how it goes. I mean, I ordered a 3-pack of cards a few weeks back, and I just got the normal 10% discount. So yeah, that's just it's just how it goes. Matthew, is Tangem have access on our seed phrase if a government asks for it? Nope, absolutely not. No one has access to your seed phrase or your keys. Only you do. If you choose a seedless option, then you don't even have the keys. But if you choose a seed phrase option, only you have access to that. Off the Grid Hero says, do you think having multiple cold wallets helps with security? If hackers try to get your crypto, does it affect all your wallets if using one laptop? No, if you're using a cold wallet, then they're all completely separate. That's why you want to use a cold wallet. Diversifying your crypto into multiple wallets effectively reduces risk, because if you make a user error and one of your wallets is compromised, then at least you don't lose all of your crypto. So depending how much crypto you have and how much crypto you feel safe keeping in each wallet, absolutely diversifying your crypto into multiple wallets should be part of your operational security. But in terms of like your computer, having malware on your computer isn't going to necessarily affect your cold wallet. That's the point of using a cold wallet. The cold wallet is completely separate from your computer. So if you're using a hot wallet and you have multiple hot wallet like apps on your computer, then absolutely they could all be compromised if your computer had malware, which again is why you want a cold wallet. Tim says, so dust tokens aren't malware? No, the dust tokens are not malware. They're tokens that are sent to your wallet so that scammers can start tracking your movements by just watching the blockchain. Having dust tokens, there's not necessarily malware like on the blockchain. Like someone can't send you a token to your wallet that's malware. It's not how it works. Usually if someone sends you a scammy token to your wallet, for sure you have to interact with it. But a lot of the tokens, like if you receive an airdrop token that you never, intended to receive, the way those scams work is you'll go and try to click into the token or try to sell it or something. It'll say you can't sell it, and then on the token like description or in the memo tag, it'll say go to this website. And then once you go to that website, they'll try to get you to reveal your seed phrase or something stupid. But again, dust tokens are just tokens that are sent to your wallet so that they can start tracking your movements. That doesn't lead to them, being able to take your crypto, but that could eventually lead to them trying to social engineer you. So if they can find out what crypto exchange you're using, and then they can do other things to try to scam you. But simply having unwanted tokens in your wallet is not a risk to your crypto or your wallet security. Can a hot wallet require KYC by next year? It doesn't. The only reason anything would require KYC is if it's some kind of like money exchange. Hot wallets are self-custodial wallets. They're not. You don't exchange money with them. They don't actually hold any money, so they're not going to ever require KYC. Whereas crypto exchanges, you're actually, you have money's going through the system, and you're buying and selling. You're not technically doing that with self-custodial wallets. Michael says, does Tangem have staking? Yes, it does. It offers native staking in the app. Currently, there's like 6 cryptos you can stake: Solana, Pulp on Polygon, and a few others. But it seems like they release more staking options every month. Jeff says, if you have only bought crypto and never sold, will it be required to report on taxes? So just to be clear, I'm not a tax advisor. I'm not a tax specialist. I've just been filing my own taxes for the last 5 years. But generally, a taxable event in crypto would be if you dispose of your asset. So that would be swapping one crypto for another, selling your crypto for fiat or cashing out. Also receiving crypto airdrops, mining crypto, receiving crypto as payment. Those would all be taxable events. Simply buying crypto on an exchange and then buying crypto on an exchange and then sending it to your cold wallet is not considered a taxable event. Now, technically, you're still supposed to report your crypto transactions, but those that's not going to initiate like any kind of. You're not going to owe them anything by doing that. Will dust tokens or random airdrop tokens also appear in the Tangem app since we manually choose which tokens to display? Does that mean though they won't show up automatically? Yeah, if a random token appears in your wallet, like on your address, you're not going to see it in the Tangem app if you don't have that token enabled. Willie Bolden says, can you transfer from Robinhood to Tangem? Absolutely. You can transfer from Robinhood to really any crypto wallet, including Tangem. Author Grid Hero says, do I have to file taxes if I transfer crypto to someone like a gift? Again, transferring crypto is not a taxable event, but that person that you sent the crypto to may have to file taxes depending on the amount and stuff. So again, I would, all this is available on the IRS's website if you want to read about it. Roger Rules says, is there an ETA on Tangem introducing support for multiple wallets per token? You mean per blockchain network? It's not per token, it'd be per blockchain network. That's how wallets work. Last I heard is that they're aiming for the end of the year. So maybe, end of December. Crypto Dude 1976 says, can we create multiple wallets with various Tangem cards? If yes, do we access the multiple wallets with the same seed phrases? Can you explain more? So when you set up a Tangem wallet in the Tangem app, it requires a minimum of 2 cards. You need 2 cards to set up one Tangem wallet, maximum of 3 cards. So for example, if you buy a 3-pack and you only set up 2 cards, that one extra card would be useless because you can't set up a wallet with 1 card. But if you like take advantage of this deal, the buy one get one 60% off, with that you get 6 cards, so you could set up 3 separate wallets with 3 separate seed phrases. So ultimately, it's 1 seed phrase per 2 cards, if that makes sense. And you can access all the Tangem wallets in your single Tangem app. If you set up 50 different cards and had 25 different wallets, you could access and manage all those in the same Tangem app, and they'd all be secured by their own seed phrase if that's how you set it up. Does the Trezor Safe 7 open source secure element chip change your view on Ledger's technology? Can we trust that a firmware update cannot extract private keys? Any wallet is technically capable of extracting private keys if that was in the firmware, but you have to understand Ledger is 95% open source. The only part that's not open source is a very small portion of the secure element chip code that talks to the hardware, but everything else is open source. And there's pros and cons to open source technology. When something is open source, that means that hackers, not only good guys, but bad guys can see the code too. So if there is a vulnerability, they can exploit that vulnerability. So you have to understand that. Now, the hope of open source code and why it can be a good thing is basically the faster people find vulnerabilities, the faster they break it, the quicker they can make it more secure. But you have to understand that using something that's 100% open source will always carry a higher risk of a vulnerability being exploited because everyone can see the code, not just the good actors, but the bad actors too. So yeah. Sebastian says, is this scam? This is not scam. I don't know why this would or how this would even be a scam. Someone says, can you store crypto Roth IRA on a cold wallet? No, you can't. Cold wallets are self-custodial wallets where you own the actual cryptocurrency on the blockchain network. So, Sapphire says, as a software, what is better, Ledger or Tangem? By that I mean token and network support and extra features. Tangem supports more networks, which means they support more cryptocurrencies. Tangem supports, I think, over 86 blockchain networks. They have, I think, the best support out of any wallet. Ledger, I don't know the exact number. They probably support, maybe half of that, maybe a little more. Extra features. They all offer pretty similar features. Like with Ledger, you can stake a few different cryptocurrencies, like you can stake Ethereum, whereas with Tangem, you can't. But they both offer 24-word seed phrase. They both offer PIN and password protection. They both offer the hidden wallet or passphrase option. So yeah. Wendy Pooh says, does our cost average move to Tangem? So if we pay $1, does it transfer back and forth between exchanges and Tangem at $1? Yeah, I mean, just because you're transferring crypto doesn't affect the price that you bought it at. Yeah. So when will we get support for BNB and SOL addresses on .SOL addresses on Tangem? I don't know. Blake Hernandez says, is Tangem your favorite cold wallet? Going to start with Tangem. Honestly, I would say Tangem is my favorite cold wallet. I own over 30 cold wallets at this point. And I use Tangem the most. That's also why I have eight different sets of Tangem. I kind of like collecting them, but I use Tangem the most. I also believe after running this channel and helping over 10 million people secure their crypto, Tangem is the best wallet for beginners by far. It's just the most user-friendly. It's the easiest to use. It's the easiest to set up. The app is the most straightforward and user-friendly. So Tangem is my favorite cold wallet. That doesn't mean I don't like other cold wallets or that I wouldn't recommend another cold wallet to someone else. It just depends on their experience level and exactly what they're looking for. There's no such thing as the best cold wallet. There's only what's best for you. So yeah. Does Tangem charge high rates to transfer crypto? It seems like it's way more expensive than Ledger. Forever Forgiven, the transfer fees have nothing to do with the wallet you're using. Absolutely not. Um, Wallets don't charge the transfer fees. Transfer fees are determined by the blockchain network that you send crypto on and how congested that network is at the time of your transaction. The blockchain doesn't know what kind of wallet you're using. So Blake says Tangem and get the Trezor Safe 7 when it comes out after your review, of course. Don't know why my chat keeps sending early. Yeah, for sure. I'm excited for the Trezor Safe 7 as well. Obviously, it's a completely different wallet. That said, you can already get the Trezor Safe 7. I don't know if you want to wait to see my full review, but I've already posted my first impressions video and kind of went over stuff. Like I said, I've already ordered my wallet. It should be here this week, I believe. But yeah, if you want to take advantage of getting like that free wireless charger with Trezor, and I think that free shipping, if you use my link from the Trezor Safe 7 video, you'll get that. But if you want to wait, that's fine too. Tim says, should I be nervous if I have 2 in my account? 2 what, Tim? You got to be more specific. If you're talking about dust tokens, then I wouldn't be. Pretty much everyone has some kind of spam token in their wallet at this point. It's just part of crypto. Where are you from? I'm from the United States. Off the Grid Hero says 2 cold wallets that are big bags, but never connected to exchanges or anything. Only sends to one specific cold wallet. From there, you connect the cold wallet to Coinbase. Could that be a safe route? You don't connect your cold wallet to exchanges. That's not necessary. That's not even something you do. It's very simple. If you want to secure your crypto with your cold wallet, you would just buy it on Coinbase and then you send it directly to your cold wallet. If you ever want to send your crypto back to the exchange, you just send it back to the exchange. That doesn't require you to connect your cold wallet to anything. This all happens on the blockchain. All you're doing when you send crypto is you're moving crypto on the blockchain from one address to another address. You don't have to connect anything. Bimbo Bambo says, don't buy or swap crypto on Tangem. The exchange can easily freeze your transaction and funds. It's a pain in the butt to get in contact with them to get your funds back. This is true on any exchange. That's why exchanges, kind of suck. They're custodial wallets. They control the crypto. But usually when I've seen, because this has happened to me when buying crypto on Tangem, usually that's because you haven't completed the KYC process. So you need to do that. Also, if you ever have any issues like this, Tangem is not the company you want to reach out to. Again, this is not offered by Tangem. You would need to reach out to whatever exchange you used through Tangem to buy or sell. And when I've done this, they responded the same day. So that's just been my experience. But yeah. Wow says, love you and thank you very much. Appreciate it. Much love. Is Tangem as secure as Trezor and Ledger? In my research and my experience, it is as secure as Trezor and Ledger. Tangem has never been hacked. Ledger wallets have never been hacked. Trezor, the old Trezor Model 1 back in like 2020 or 2018 was actually hacked as a physical hack. But yeah, Tangem is equally secure as these other cold wallets on the market. Michael Spalding said, I've been using Tangem over the last year. I like it, but I wish I could calculate my overall lost gains. I DCA frequently random amounts. My only way of tracking is to add up all my bank transactions. Again, Michael, no cold wallet is going to allow you to track profit and loss. That would require you to connect all your crypto exchange accounts and everything to do that. If you want to do that, you don't have to add up all your bank transactions. The best way to do that is to use a portfolio tracker like coinledger.io. That's how you track your profit and loss with your crypto wallets and your exchanges. Do you think XRP ETF will get approved anytime? I think it's possible. Anything is possible. Dasi says, nice work. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Wow says, Tangem or Ledger Nano S Plus, which do you recommend? 2 completely different wallets, so it depends on what you're looking for. Tangem is a mobile-only wallet. The app is more user-friendly than Ledger Live, in my opinion. Ledger Nano S Plus is mainly a desktop only wallet. It's really only good on your computer because it doesn't have Bluetooth like the other Ledger models. Tangem supports more networks. Ledger supports less networks. Neither of them have a battery. So yeah, it really just depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a wallet that you can use on both your computer and your phone, that doesn't break the bank, I would probably say like the new Ledger Nano Gen 5. It's got the full touchscreen. You can use this on your computer as well as your phone with Bluetooth. But this is Ledger's new entry level wallet. It is the new Nano. So I would go for something like that. If you're looking for a wallet you can also use on your computer. Florida Drone says, are they going to have an update where we can set up more than 3 cards per wallet? They don't have any plans to do that as far as I know, but I could definitely ask them. Technically, and just to be clear, you can technically already do that if you have a seed phrase. You can import your seed phrase into as many cards as you want. So even if you had 100 cards, you could import your seed phrase into all those cards and they would all be the same wallet. They'll be displayed as separate sets in the Tangem app, but they'll all control the same crypto. Michael says, thank you for your great content. Thanks, Michael. You do a great job being direct, to the point, clearly explain your message, and excellent deliverable. Keep it up. I appreciate it. Thank you. 34D says, how do I get this deal? The deal to this is in the description of the live stream here on YouTube. That said, I don't think I put this deal on Twitter because we're live on Twitter as well. So I better, let me see if I can't add that to Twitter. But yeah, the deal to this this is the link to this deal is in the description of this video. And yeah, again, I'll bring up the website again. So the current deal that goes on to November 5th is buy one, get one, 60% off. So you're getting 6 cards for $97. So when you get to the website, if you use a link in the description, it's going to apply all the deals automatically. So then you just make sure you click right here where it says second set for 50% off. Know that you're getting it for 60% off, again, because the Cyber Skrilla 10% off code is also applied. So if I remove that, you can see that it would be $104. So you want to make sure you have that code applied. Again, if you use the link in the description, all these are already applied. And then you just select what wallets you want. These are all the same cards. They all work exactly the same. They're all the 2.0 version. There's no 1.0 versions. So you can create a seed phrase with all these wallets. My personal favorite is the Stealth right here. Comes with 2 blank cards. And then my favorite limited edition one would probably be the Bitcoin one. I really like that combo. But yeah, that's how you get the deal. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see. There we go. RTD says, I believe any purchase of the crypto does not need to be reported on taxes, only the events you just mentioned. The question in the tax form does not ask if you bought crypto. Actually, it does. When I file my crypto taxes every year, it asks if you bought crypto. I'm pretty sure. RTD, I appreciate, let's see, great source of information. We bought Tandem with your 10% promo. I appreciate you. Thank you. Musk Max says, I'm trying to transfer my Solana from an exchange to Tangem. It gives me 2 options, default and legacy address. How do I know which options to use and transfer my funds safely without losing my Solana? So the exchange, is it giving you the 2 options? Is that correct? It should tell you in the Tangem wallet when you click the receive button in Solana, it should tell you the address type. Let's try it out. Click receive. Dun, dun, dun. Let's see. It starts with BK. Let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. That's a vanity address. It's weird that the exchange is asking for the different address types for Solana. I've never personally seen that. Um, so I'd have to get back to you on that because I'm not sure. I've always just used I've never had that show up on an exchange. I always just copy the receiving address from my Tangem wallet and send it to the Solana address that it provides. Why don't wallets support all cryptos that are limited to 10,000 or 5,000? So that's actually not true. Like all the wallets say they're limited to like 5,000 cryptos. And in reality, it's much more. If a wallet supports a blockchain network, then that wallet supports all the tokens on that blockchain network. Like for example, a wallet that supports Solana supports more than 40 million tokens because there are millions of tokens on the Solana network. So the wallet supports all those tokens as well. Why wallets don't support all blockchain networks? Probably just because it costs them time and money to implement different networks. So they really would only implement the networks where the users are demanding it. If there's not a lot of demand, then they probably just ignore it. Ancient says, "What's your opinion on the most secure wallet?" The most secure wallet is a one that you understand how to use and feel comfortable using, and of course, wallets that have a good reputation. Um, so yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, all wallets on the market right now do the same thing. There are like three wallets that I don't recommend: EliPal, Decent, and Arculus. Um, Reason being is Decent and Arculus are 100% closed source. So technically, you wouldn't know if the company had a backdoor in their wallet. EliPal, I don't recommend just because I've had some weird interactions with them on a personal level, which I covered in one of my recent videos. Um, but yeah, most of the popular wallets are going to be just as secure as the next one. Ledger, Trezor, Tangem, OneKey, SafePal, Keystone, Bitbox, whatever it may be, they're all going to secure your crypto. So that's why I say usability and finding a wallet that you enjoy using and that you actually understand how to use is equally as important as security. Because at the end of the day, all these things do are secure the keys to your crypto and allow you to manage them. RTD says, "Do you put your wallet in a Faraday bag?" I don't. It's not necessary, in my opinion. So no. Especially Tangem. Tangem is EMP proof, electrostatic resistant to electrostatic discharge, X-ray proof. So for Tangem, you definitely don't need to. It's also immune to NFC skimmers. There's a video of someone scanning the NFC wallet with the Flipper Zero, which is a hacker device. It doesn't take any information that would lead anyone to being able to access your wallet. So John Doe says, "Any firmware update could extract private keys. Yes, but surely an auditable secure chip means it is not just left to trust that it doesn't happen." Yeah, that's true. That is true. Tangem also supports X stock. Yes, it does. RTD says, "Is there a best time to transfer crypto to a wallet based on traffic? Is it cheaper when less traffic?" Yeah, the less busy a network is, the cheaper it is. As far as when that happens, when the market is bearish, when people are bearish, it's going to be cheap. When everyone is, when Bitcoin is mooning and everything else is mooning, that's going to be more expensive than right now where everyone is fearful. Off the grid, Windows wants to update to 11, but I'm hearing it's having a lot of problems. Should I still update? Will it affect cold wallet crypto on laptops? I don't know. I don't have a Windows computer, so I couldn't tell you what those problems are. It's not going to affect the security of your cold wallet, though. I will tell you that. Off the grid also says, "I meant sending crypto. Is it safer to have two wallets than only send to a specific wallet, then from there send to exchange?" Absolutely not. If you're doing that, you're just wasting money. You don't need to send crypto from one wallet from the exchange to sorry, you don't need to send crypto from the exchange to one wallet and then to another wallet. All you're doing is wasting money on fees. That doesn't increase security, that doesn't increase privacy. I don't know where people get that idea, but it's just completely false. Slice says, is it possible to run 2 wallets at the same time with different passphrases to get a new set of addresses? Um, yes, but you would need multiple cards. So like if you wanted to manage one, like your 24-word seed phrase wallet, and then that same wallet with a passphrase, and you want to basically be able to access them at the same time, you would need at least 4 cards. That way you can manage them both at the same time. Let's see. TJ White says, hello. What's going on, TJ? Shout out to TJ. Let me see here. Gonna check a little something right quick. Dun, dun, dun. Oops. Cancel that. Let's see. Where is this? Doesn't make any sense. There we go. Okay. Ed says, have you heard anything on Tangem credit card? Just to be clear, it's not a credit card. It is a self-custodial debit card. Last we heard is it's going to be released in select countries at the end of the year. It'd be Europe and the UK, I believe. TJ White says, my first and current is Arculus. I love it. Easy and secure, American made. I'm about to expand to Tangem though. Have had my eye on it. Yeah, again, Arculus is a 100% closed source company, whereas Tangem, the app, is 100% open source. So we understand how the keys are generated, which is important. Arculus, I have one and I don't use it. I also think, Tangem supports more cryptocurrencies than Arculus. You also get more cards with Tangem. I think Tangem app is better. Overall, I think Tangem is the better wallet out of Arculus and Tangem, but that's just my opinion. Crypto Toe Walker, I already covered this. How about Ellie Powell? What's your views? I don't know if they're a compromised company, but it's not a company that I recommend anymore. If you want to know why, I covered my exact interaction with them in my latest video on the channel. Ariel Lion says, my ledger was hacked when I attempted to move XLM from Coinbase to my ledger. That doesn't really make any sense at all. So yeah, your ledger was not hacked. But if you want me to troubleshoot what could have happened, I would need more info than that, because that doesn't tell me anything, except you probably made a user error. James says the Trezor Safe 7 looks good with their quantum future proofing feature. Yeah, I mean, that's really just marketing. Again, it's not quantum proof, but I think with the auditable secure chip, they're going to be able to implement any quantum updates if they ever come out. But experts have said that, and that doesn't mean, I guess, that they won't come out with quantum updates sooner, but experts have said that, quantum computing is decades away from being able to compromise cryptography or blockchain security. So we're still anywhere from 10 to 80 plus years out, allegedly. What resources would you use or recommend for staking and borrowing against your crypto? Ideally, borrow and pay off via staking rewards. That's not something I'd ever do or recommend. I don't borrow money or borrow crypto. I think that's a terrible idea. It's a great way to get wrecked. That's not something that I would ever do. James Cooper says, and I like the fact you can set it up without a seed phrase. That also makes me think quantum defense. James, you're probably talking about Tangem. Whether you set up a seed phrase or not has nothing to do with quantum proofing anything. You can't quantum proof a wallet. All wallets do is implement the technology that these blockchains use. So if the actual blockchain network is compromised, it doesn't matter what wallet you're using because the network's compromised. So just want to be clear. Tim says, have you ever thought of selling courses? Could be a great side hustle for you. I probably wouldn't sell courses. Like, why do that when I can just give everyone the free content here on YouTube? I have thought about doing a paid group, something like on School, where basically you get access to me and a group of people. And and I know there is some interest in doing this. I may or may not do it. To me, it doesn't make sense to hide like the best stuff behind a paywall. I think that's just kind of greedy. It makes more sense to reach as many people as possible by putting out free content on the internet. And then if someone chooses to support me by like using my link to buy a wallet, then that's cool. But I don't think we should force people to have to buy access to information. Sonic Boom says I just bought the ring last week for 135. Well, Sonic Boom, this 25% off deal on the ring has been going for well over a month, and I've been talking about it for a month. So you could have saved money even then, to be honest. Kevin says, "What's one cryptocurrency you're bullish on the most?" I don't talk about that. I'll just say Bitcoin. Off the Grid Hero says Stacks. The Ledger Stacks allows you to look at a full NFT image, hoping NFTs come back in a big way. Yeah, I mean, any wallet allows you to look at your NFTs, including Tangem. NFTs are not going to come back. Yeah, they're dead. The reason being, which is going to be the same for most cryptocurrencies on the market today, 99.9% of the NFTs that are launched, that are created, and that were popular in 2021, it's all vaporware. There's no actual value. There's no actual use for them. Yeah, it's just vaporware that was created solely to extract value, to extract money from retail who bought it. TJ White says, "Is that 2 wallets and 6 cards?" So when you get this deal, if you get the buy one get one 60% off, again, link is in the description. You are getting 6 cards total. With 6 cards, you can create 3 separate wallets. James says, "That's the first mistake I've ever heard you make filing crypto taxes." Absolutely not. When you run a business, you got to file your taxes, and I operate a business. Let's see. This is Blake is replying to TJ White saying 1 wallet is a minimum of 2 cards and maximum of 3. So yes, 6 cards is 2 wallets. No, 6 cards is 3 wallets, not 2 wallets. Mary says, "How do I find my Tangem wallet address?" You just open up your Tangem wallet and you tap the receive button. If you look here on my Tangem wallet, if I go to Solana and then tap receive, you can see the address is right there. That's what you'll copy. Super easy. Well, let's see. We had a super chat. Thank you, Musmac. My bad. It was not with Solana, but with Cardano that I'm seeing default legacy option. Thanks. Yeah. So with Cardano, when you open up the Tangem app and click receive on Cardano, yeah, there is a legacy and default option. Which one you click depends on which one you select on the exchange when you send it. It should allow you to click or to pick one. Bob Max says, "I ordered the ring card combo, but I'm a half a size, 8.5, but needed to order 9. If this fits too loose, can the ring be resized?" No, this ring can't be resized. And an even easier solution, just go onto Amazon and type in ring reducer pads. And these are little pads that basically like glue into the inside of your ring. And it effectively reduces your ring size about half a size. That would be the route that I go. John Doe says, "Just wanted to say thank you for sharing your knowledge about crypto with people. Do you know how? Don't know how you have so much patience sometimes." I don't know either, John. It just comes with talking to people all day. I actually enjoy talking to people that have these similar interests as me. So I don't necessarily mind answering the same questions over and over again. It's not a big deal, as long as it's not the same person asking the same question over when I've already answered it 100 times. But when I get people coming in, I understand there's new people entering crypto every day. They're all going to have the same questions, and that's okay. We all got to start somewhere. Max said, "You mentioned that you have multiple Tangem wallets, 8. times 2 per wallet, that's a lot of cards. How do you keep track of them? You put labels on them? No, I don't put labels on them. I just keep them in their boxes that they came with. And then obviously each card has um, identifier numbers on the card, unless you have the stealth cards. But really, I just have different boxes, and yeah, you can put labels on the boxes and stuff. Um, so yeah, that's how I do it. And then of course, in the actual Tangem app, you can name your wallets. So if you name it, like for example, you could name, wallet number 1, you could change the name to Bitcoin. Then you could just label your box Bitcoin, and those cards are your Bitcoin wallet. Willie Bolin says, just got my wallet yesterday. Now I'm scared that I'll mess things up getting things set up. You're not going to mess anything setting up a wallet. You're not going to mess anything up. Again, if you're hesitant, make sure to use the user guide in the description of this live stream. I literally walk you through the entire process step by step in real time. But you need to just do it. Stop being scared and just set it up. Nothing bad is going to happen when you set up a wallet. And then when you go to transfer crypto, just transfer a small amount at first and test it out. Nothing scary about it. Mary Sunshine says, Uphold recently changed a lot of addresses and the way they transfer, and I can't find addresses anymore. How do I find my Tangem address? You just open up your Tangem app, you select the cryptocurrency in your wallet, you hit the receive button, and that's your Tangem address. You don't get your Tangem address from Uphold, you get it from Tangem. Simon says, what do you make of using your old phone as a cold wallet? I would several hot wallets on the phone. However, I will use a phone as when I want to check my balance. Absolutely not. Don't use an old phone as a cold wallet. That is not even the same thing. Cold wallets allow you to not just secure the key offline, it allows you to manage the key offline in a secure environment. So when you sign a transaction with a cold wallet, the cold wallet app communicates unsigned transaction data to your cold wallet. You then sign the transaction offline on your cold wallet device inside the secure chip, which is then broadcasted back to the app and back to the blockchain. So that's not how it works with using an old phone. I personally wouldn't risk it. I would just get Tangem. It's going to be much easier than that and more secure. James Cooper says, okay, I'm always trying to find a way around buying quantum proof wallets, which go for around $3,000, like the Kevin wallet. That's a scam. There's no such thing as a quantum proof wallet. Tim says, people are weird. If you pay for something, you are more likely to use it than something that is given away. Makes sense. Don't have to charge a lot, but just enough to motivate people to learn. Yes and no. I agree with that. Like, I understand courses. I don't have anything against people that, if you're going to offer a course, then it better provide actual value. I feel like a lot of courses, they don't actually provide value. If it actually helps you solve a problem quicker, then I get it. It's just not something that I'm necessarily interested in doing. I'd be much more interested in having a paid group of people where we can all interact with each other, learn from each other. And in that paid group, I would have courses that everyone has access to. That's how I would do it and how I might do it in the future. Kevin says, is it normal for 2 addresses to come up on Tangem when sending Bitcoin from the exchange? Yes, it is. One is the legacy address, and then one is the default SegWit address. I use the default address because it's going to be more efficient. It's the quicker type of Bitcoin address. The legacy address is the older Bitcoin address, but I use SegWit. RTD says, I haven't gotten my Tangem, but you mentioned you can choose no seed phrase. Can you explain what that means? Yeah, so during the setup process, you don't have to generate a seed phrase if you don't want to. If you go that route, the keys are generated internally on the secure element chip in the card, and no one will ever know them. So the cards will be your only backup to accessing your crypto. Whereas if you have a seed phrase, the seed phrase is also the key along with your cards that are used to access your crypto. The downside to not using a seed phrase is you're solely reliant on your cards to access your crypto. So like if you lost all your cards at the same time for some reason and you don't have a seed phrase, you would never be able to access your crypto again. Whereas if you lost all your cards at the same time, but you still have your seed phrase, you can import that seed phrase into another wallet to, to access your crypto. But whether you use a seed phrase or not is really up to you. What do you use for your taxes? Any app that makes your forms for you? Yes, coinledger.io. If you just type in how to file crypto taxes on YouTube, I walk you through the entire process using that software on my video. Greg says, my wallet won't show total balance, just a hyphen. One, make sure you're connected to the internet. Two, there might be a button below your portfolio that is asking you to scan your card. You might have to do this like if you added a new network recently. You might need to scan your card to basically refresh and activate the network so that it displays your portfolio. Again, that button will be on the main page and it will say like scan your card or something like that. The EU passed the MiCA law. Have you heard of that? Clear rules for crypto trading and custody. Do you think is good or too much regulation? I've heard of it, but I don't know enough about it to even comment on it, to be honest. Seed phrase, no seed phrase help. Just cover that. I personally use a seed phrase with my Tangem wallet. As long as you understand, never share your seed phrase with anyone, then you can use a seed phrase safely. Sonic Boom says, can you set up the seed phrase offline? So yes, again, I'm going to come out with a video later. You can set up your Tangem wallet completely offline now. You've really always been able to do it, but you can set it up offline. So if that makes you feel better, you can do that. What happens if you lose all your Tangem cards, but you still have your seed phrase? So remember, Tangem, Coinbase, none of these platforms, none of these wallets hold any crypto. Crypto only exists in one place on the blockchain network. All crypto exchanges all crypto wallets are tools that are used to access your crypto on the blockchain. Now, the keys to your crypto on the blockchain is your seed phrase. So as long as you have your seed phrase, you will always be able to use that to access your crypto. Even if you lost all your Tangem cards or your Ledger wallet or your Trezor wallet, but you still have your seed phrase, you can then take that seed phrase and enter it into a new wallet and regain access to your crypto. Doesn't even have to be the same brand of wallet. Let's see. Sonic Boom, yes, you can set up your seed phrase offline. Hash, what's going on, Hash? Doing good. Thanks for joining the live stream. Kevin says, thanks for your help and support. Absolutely. Okay. Get rid of that person. The Johnson family says, do you think Tangem will dramatically raise their transaction fees when the bull run is in effect? Tangem doesn't have transaction fees, the Johnson family. No cold wallet. Cold wallets aren't what charge you transaction fees. If you're talking about like sending crypto, those fees are charged by the blockchain networks that your crypto lives on. The way gas fees or transfer fees work is it's solely dependent, again, on what network you're using and how busy that network is at the time of transaction. Has nothing to do with what kind of wallet you're using. The blockchain doesn't know you're using a Tangem wallet or a Ledger wallet, has no idea. Shout out to Raynex. What's going on? Appreciate you being here. Is the seed phrase a list of words I wrote down when creating the account? I access using my fingerprint and have a code number. I'm occasionally asked for. Yes, the 12 or 24 words that you wrote down is your seed phrase. You need to protect that at all costs. That simple phrase gives you access to all of your crypto. Even if they don't have your cards, anyone who has your seed phrase can access your crypto. Shout out to Lydia Hernandez. Thank you for the super chat. Currently having issues moving crypto in PayPal to Ledger. I'm wondering if it will be easier to Tangem. You would need to provide more info with what the issue is. I can't really assist you without knowing more. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the process of sending crypto doesn't change just because you're using a different wallet. So whether you're sending it to Tangem or Ledger or Trezor, it doesn't change how easy or hard it is. It's the same exact process. But again, I would need more info. You don't have to do a super chat or anything, just post it below, and maybe I can assist. Bimbo says seed phrases all the way, then you can use a passphrase. Yep, that's true. Z Big says, I got crypto in 3 different software wallets. Yikes. Definitely get that out of there as soon as you can. Can I add all 3 to a Tangem 3-pack? Yeah, so when you set up a crypto wallet, like a cold wallet like Tangem, there's no limits to how much crypto it can store. If you had $1 trillion worth of, 3 different cryptocurrencies, it will secure it all. What you need to check is that the wallet you choose, whether that's Tangem or anything else, supports the cryptocurrencies that are in your hot wallet. As long as they support those cryptocurrencies, then you can send them all to your Tangem wallet. Russell says, have you reviewed Kivo? Do you have any thoughts on it? I've looked at it. I haven't reviewed it, so I can't comment my experience on it. Hello, is Tangem safe? Yes, Tangem is safe. 6 million cars produced since 2017. Not a single one has been hacked. Off the Grid says metal crypto Zeus tag versus paper seed phrase. Obviously, metal is going to be better. It's not going to, get damaged in a fire or water or anything like that. Would you recommend transferring crypto from a hot wallet to a new Tangem wallet or use the same seed phrase? Absolutely transfer it. You never want to use your hot wallet seed phrase in a cold wallet. That defeats the purpose of the cold wallet. Always create a new cold seed phrase and transfer the crypto to it when coming from a hot wallet. When I hear people asking questions like those numbers that I get in the beginning, are those my seed phrase? I think one thing you really need to watch a video so you can understand better. I'm not sure what you're talking about, to be honest. Sonic Boom says, I know we're talking about Tangem, but any thoughts on Trezor 7? Sonic Boom, I go on my channel or just type it on YouTube, Trezor Safe 7. I already released a video on the Safe 7 and my thoughts on it. And I go super in depth in that video. And my Trezor Safe 7 arrives this week. I think it's going to be an awesome wallet. So yeah, absolutely. Can you stake HBAR on Tangem? HBAR is not a wallet you can stake on Tangem, I don't think. Let me check. Looks like you can, actually. Interesting. Let's see. It says that you can. Oh, we gotta find supported. I mean, you can Google this too if you want. I literally just use Google to find out these answers. Let's see. No, you can't stake HBAR. Currently, you can stake BNB, Atom, Sol, TON, TRX, and Polygon Pol on Ethereum. And then future ones that you'll be able to stake will be Avalanche, Cardano, Chronos, Kava, Near Protocol, Polkadot, and Tezos. So those are the current cryptos you can stake. But yes, you can store HBAR on Tangem for sure. But again, if you're just watching this buy one, get one 60 off deal, the link to this deal is in the description of this live stream. Let me see here. And I could show you real quick, again, how to kind of take advantage of that. Let me pull up here. So yeah, when you click the link in the description, it's going to take you to Ledger's website. All the deals will already be applied. So you don't really have to do anything. You just select this right here. The second set, 50% off. Know that you're getting 60% off because the 10% Cyber code is already applied. So you're getting the 10% off plus the 15% off, the 50% off that's already on the website. So you're getting 6 cards for $97. So you're buying one full price, getting the second one half off. And again, you can switch which designs you want, which is super cool. And you also get free shipping with this deal Or if you're looking to get the Tangem ring, you can get 25% off right now using the link in the description, as well as free shipping. And the ring comes with obviously the ring and 2 cards. So you get basically 3 cards. So yeah. Let's see. I don't like this one. I'll try this one. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, somebody asked a question about the words that I copy when I set up my wallets. Those are the seed phrases. Tells me they're clueless and they don't really need to. They really need to bone up on how things work. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know that you wrote down your seed phrase, that is very concerning, in my opinion. Well, the father, do you think it's better to transfer HBAR to Tangem or Ledger or even Hashback? It looks like it's easier for Tangem. I'm not sure what you mean by better. Transferring your crypto to Ledger, Tangem, it's all the same process. You copy the HBAR address from your wallet, you paste it in the sending spot, and you hit send. Can I access my crypto on a one key using my Tangem seed phrase? Like on a one key wallet, yes, you could. You can import the seed phrase from your one key wallet or from your Tangent wallet into one key. The only thing I would caution is when you import your seed phrase from one wallet brand to another, you'd have to make sure that that wallet that you're importing it into supports the same cryptocurrencies. Otherwise, they're just not going to be displayed in your wallet. They're still secured by your seed phrase. You just won't see them. But yeah, that said, I appreciate everyone joining the live stream. And watch out for the video today where I show you how to set up your Tangent wallet completely offline. God bless and peace out.